that we were going to be able to create for him that thing that I had always wanted.
And I was like, I'm just trying to be pleasant. Like, I don't know what to do. I've never dealt with this before. He's like, right, but the UK media are saying you love it.
Tell me the ways of how you make things flavorful, but equally, I want to still welcome them with something that I think they'll enjoy.
Picture this. Meghan Markle, the so-called rebel princess of the royal family, struts around like she owns the whole truth-telling victim narrative. But guess what? The internet is exploding with whispers that she's been hiding more than just skeletons in her closet. Try a whole daughter. Yep, not a rumor about some shady ex, not about tiaras or titles. An actual daughter, allegedly kept under wraps for 30 long years. 30 years. Can you even imagine? While Meghan's been out here sobbing about finding her voice and being silenced, people are pointing fingers and asking, wait, sis, where was your voice when you were allegedly signing hush-hush annulment papers in Vegas? Her brand isn't just shaky, it's starting to look like a soap opera script gone wrong. Meghan didn't just leave a few loose ends. According to these whispers, she left a whole maternity ward sealed behind locked doors.
What they did is they conducted a search with finding if a Rachel Meghan Markle.
Let's be real here. If Meghan's life were a Netflix drama, the tagline would be new season, same lies, different prince. Every year it's another scandal, another leak, another cliffhanger in the world's messiest royal soap opera. But this time, oh honey, it's not about crowns or palaces, it's about a child no one was supposed to know even existed. And here's where it stings. Meghan's perfect, polished, fairy tale Duchess story, it's got a massive hole in it. The kind of hole you can't cover up with teary interviews or staged Oprah moments. This one's patched together with lies, whispers, and sealed Vegas court documents. And believe me, nothing screams scandal like a locked record in the city of neon sins.
It's not Eugenie, it's Eugenie. Because those Windsor jeans.
So let's rewind to 1999. Meghan graduates high school, all smiles and promises. The official narrative? She takes a wholesome gap year before college. Cute, right? Gelato in Italy, soul-searching, maybe some artsy travel pics. Except, here's the kicker. No one can prove it actually happened. No receipts, no photos, no friends reminiscing about European adventures. Nada. Just Meghan's word. And let's be honest, her word at this point has about as much credibility as a second-hand car salesman trying to peddle a lemon with fake papers.
Summer of 1994. Meghan Markle has just graduated from Immaculate Heart High School.
Because instead of backpacking across Europe, the whispers say Meghan was slipping into a wedding dress in Las Vegas, secretly marrying her teenage boyfriend, Joe Giuliano. And tell me this, doesn't that sound way more like the Meghan we know today? The queen of do whatever it takes doesn't just disappear for 12 months with no trace. That gap year? Oh no, it looks less like soul-searching and way more like damage control. And here's the jaw-dropper. If the gossip is true, Meghan didn't just take a gap year, she took a gap child.
Meghan Markle trembling as Lilibet's alleged biological mother arrives in California to take back her daughter.
Now, let's talk Vegas, the land where bad decisions are practically carved in neon. Allegedly, Meghan wasn't there for slot machines or cheap buffets. Nope, she was reportedly walking down some dimly lit courthouse aisle to marry Joe Giuliano, her high school flame. Not exactly Windsor Castle material, but hey, Meghan has always been good at trading up, and don't think this was some glamorous celebrity elopement. Oh no. 2 family witnesses, a dusty courthouse, and boom, teenage wedding bells. Except those bells didn't ring for long.
If one of the world's most famous women admitted to something so personal, so startling, that it left
because just months later, an annulment was filed. And here's where it gets deliciously suspicious. That record was sealed. In Vegas, a city where you can dig up Elvis-themed divorces from the 1970s like confetti. But Meghan's annulment? Sealed up like it was holding nuclear launch codes. Why? What could possibly be so scandalous that the courts shut the whole thing down tighter than Buckingham's vault? And here's the part that burns. Whispers claim it wasn't just about a teenage marriage gone wrong. No, it was about a pregnancy.
Don't Harry's children have African-American features? Is Meghan their biological mother? In 2018, before marriage...
So what happens next? According to whispers, Meghan's so-called gap year didn't just include a courthouse aisle and a sealed annulment. Nope. By mid-1995, the rumors insist Meghan gave birth. Not to a storyline, not to a career hiccup, but to an actual daughter. Instead of Instagram-worthy adventures, people allege Meghan was hiding a baby bump. Forget gelato in Rome. The girl was allegedly dealing with diapers. And here's the part that'll make your jaw hit the floor. The baby was allegedly handed off to the Giuliano family. Quietly, casually, like dropping off dry cleaning. No adoption papers, no public announcement, no acknowledgement. Just erased from the Meghan Markle narrative like it never happened. And when you line it all up, the timeline screams scandal. Teenage marriage in Vegas, sealed annulment. Then, 9 months later, boom, a baby that conveniently disappears from every official record. The math is not complicated. Meghan wasn't just playing house with Joe Giuliano. If these rumors are true, she was building a family. Until she wasn't. And the Giulianos. They weren't fame-hungry tabloids or Instagram clout chasers. They were old-school, working-class, private people, the kind of family that values tradition, stability, and loyalty. The kind of people who don't spin wild tales for attention. So why would they invent this? Why would Whispers follow the same script year after year if there wasn't some fire behind the smoke? The Whispers say this: while Meghan plotted her big reinvention, the Giulianos quietly raised a child that wasn't theirs. They did school runs, birthday parties, and parent-teacher nights, while Meghan scrubbed the slate clean. The alleged arrangement was as cold as it was calculated. Giulianos would raise the baby. Meghan would vanish into a shiny, baggage-free new life. No papers, no trace, no accountability. Just a business-like trade, whispered into silence. And here's what makes it chilling. This wasn't some terrified teenage girl trying to survive. According to those who talk, it was strategic. Meghan allegedly didn't see motherhood as a blessing. She saw it as a burden, an obstacle to her climb. And when Meghan sees obstacles, she erases them. Imagine the coldness it takes to hand over your own flesh and blood, then scrub the memory clean like it never existed. That's not just moving on. That's systematic erasure. And honestly, doesn't it fit Meghan's entire playbook? Reinvent, erase, repackage. Think about it. 1 minute she's a Hollywood extra, next she's a duchess. 1 minute she's married with whispers of a baby, next she's spotless and sparkling for a new audience. Friends cut off, family ghosted, relationships torched. Why would motherhood be any different? If a baby threatened her trajectory, she'd treat it the same way she treats anyone else who stops being useful. Delete, block, pretend they never existed. And while the Giulianos were allegedly raising that little girl in silence, Meghan was off to Northwestern University, carefully rebranding. She walked onto campus as if she'd fallen out of the sky. Polished, glowing, baggage-free. A fresh face ready for stardom. No teenage wedding, no annulment, no whispers of a baby. Just a bright-eyed actress in training pretending the past never happened. It wasn't just reinvention, it was practically witness protection, minus the government contract. Meanwhile, the Giuliano family were allegedly the ones attending plays, wrapping birthday presents, and explaining absent parents. Meghan, she was busy crafting tales about soul-searching in Europe. But here's the twist. Secrets don't stay buried forever. And this one just turned 30 years old. That daughter has allegedly spent her whole life watching her birth mother become a global icon while she herself stayed in the shadows. Imagine the torment. Watching Meghan preach about authenticity while living what might be the biggest lie of her life. Watching Meghan cry on television about being silenced while she's the one who allegedly did the silencing first. By the time Meghan strolled into Northwestern, it was like she'd hit the reset button on her entire life. Professors, classmates, casting directors, everyone bought the fresh, shiny version of Meghan. They saw a worldly traveler, an ambitious student, not a young woman with a trail of secrets. The audacity is almost impressive. If it weren't so chilling, think about it. While the Giulianos were allegedly juggling diapers and bedtime stories, Meghan was sipping cocktails at mixers, smiling at auditions, and telling tales of soul-searching in Europe. She built her story on quicksand, one lie stacked neatly on top of another until it looked like a polished tower. But here's the thing about quicksand. Eventually, it swallows everything. And the whispers didn't stop. They followed her. The sealed Vegas record, the vanishing year, the baby-shaped hole in her story. Friends of the Giuliano family, they couldn't quite keep their mouths shut. Over the years, small hints slipped out. Always careful, always vague, but eerily consistent. Different people, different places, but the same storyline. Teenage marriage, sealed annulment, hidden baby. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern. And Meghan's response? Erase, erase, erase. She didn't just distance herself from the Giulianos. She ghosted them out of existence. Like a movie editor cutting characters from the final reel. By the time she was smiling for student films, her past had been cut and spliced into a script that suited her ambitions. A free-spirited, innocent starlet. Except behind the curtain, her so-called gap year had more red flags than a Buckingham Palace scandal memo. And people believed it. Hook, line, and sinker. Professors adored her charm. Classmates admired her ambition. Directors gave her opportunities. Nobody asked, "Hey, where exactly were you during that mysterious year?" Everyone swallowed the reinvention without blinking. Meanwhile, the Giulianos allegedly kept raising the child in total silence. They attended school plays, sat through parent-teacher meetings, explained to a little girl why mommy wasn't there, while Meghan was busy auditioning for roles and curating her spotless backstory. The level of compartmentalization here, it's jaw-dropping, cold, calculated, almost corporate. But secrets are like cracked faucets. They always leak. And Meghan's missing year has been dripping into the public conversation for decades. Every time she gave an interview about finding her voice, people were left whispering about the voice she allegedly silenced long before Oprah ever came calling. Every polished speech about authenticity only amplified the hunger for the truth she never addressed. And here's the plot twist no PR team can fix. That alleged baby is no longer a rumor of the past. She's 30 years old now. 30, an adult with her own voice, her own story, her own power, not a ghost, not a shadow, not a chapter Meghan can just delete. And think about the emotional wreckage. That daughter, hidden, silenced, erased, allegedly grew up watching Meghan cry on television about being cut off from her family. Can you imagine the pain? Watching the woman who gave birth to you claim she was the victim when the whispers say she's the one who abandoned first. That's the twisted irony. Meghan's entire brand rests on authenticity, on living your truth, on being the silenced girl who finally found her voice. But if the whispers are true, she's been dodging the loudest truth of all. A 30-year-old daughter with her own voice, her own story, and the power to unravel Meghan's carefully curated empire in one breath. And secrets? They always leak. Not with explosions, but with drips. One whisper here, one rumor there, a sealed record no one can access. A missing year with no photos, no receipts, no proof. All of it adding up to a narrative Meghan can't fully control. No matter how many interviews she gives, no matter how many tears she sheds. Because here's the truth. When you build an empire on secrets, the empire doesn't just bruise when those secrets come out. It collapses. And Meghan's isn't just any empire. It's global. It's Hollywood. It's royal. Which means if this alleged daughter steps into the light, the fallout won't just be a headline, it'll be a demolition.